been a while, so let's catch up on what we've been up to and where we're up to and what's next for the BMW, for the cheap V8 that we've been trying to restore on my drive. So let's catch up on where we're going up to and what's coming next.
So, previously, we did quite a lot of angle grinding and some minor swearing. But we have made progress and now we're back to it. So I've neglected this project for nearly a year at this point, and it's about time I got back to it. And as you can see, it's been left to the elements and I need to make up for lost time and get back into this thing and start making some progress. So without further ado, what's coming up this time?
I'm an idiot. I've got my spanner the wrong way. It's a new day, so we've done the rear suspension, rear strut, so that's back in there. So that's back in. I've ordered the new control arm for there because the machine was a bit corroded on the ball joints, so I've ordered a new one of them, so I'm going to wait for that to get delivered. In the meantime, the next job is front strut. Disclaimer, I've never ever taken out front suspension before, and there's a lot more there this time. So, wish me luck and hope I don't break anything else. I'm dreading seeing how rusty off these nuts are though. So, wish me luck. Let's go. Right, it seems to be quite a lot connecting this strut to the actual knuckle. So I think I need to take this off. I have to take this off, which is very rusty, so I have to take that off, and maybe that as well. I'm not too sure. So I might get away without having to take that off. I'm not sure yet. I've disconnected some of these wires because I have a feeling once I disconnect this no knuckle's just going to drop. I don't want to pull out any of the ABS wires, etc. But let's crack on. I'll keep the top mounts plugged in for now. Screwed in for now, just so this whole thing doesn't just drop out with it. I'll get the bottom off first, and I'll get the top out in a minute. Wish me luck.
With how rusty everything is under here, I start with a nice spray of penetrant and a wire brush to help me get the bolts off without them seizing on.
That is very rusty. Oh, please don't seize. There's more penetrant on it. Oh, that does not smell nice.
With me successfully drowning everything in penetrating and scrubbing a lot, it was time to actually work this very rusty nut. Once I got my rights and lefts the right way around, I used my leg to force this nut loose, as it was really rusted on there.
Oh, I think that was movement. I don't want to angle grind this off as well, because then I'd have to replace all that. And that is very rusty. Just drown it! Who's having a wee? Whoops.
Now it was a lot of careful twisting, as I really didn't want to strip this in any sense and have to then spend a load of time angle grinding this off.
Right, I think I'm going to leave that to soak in some penetrant for a bit, because that's getting really stiff and I don't want it to seize on, and then end up stripping that bolt, because then I'd have to angle grind it off, which you've seen in the last time. It's not fun to do, and that means I have to replace all of that. It's more fat than it's worth, so I'm going to leave it to soak. Hopefully that'll get this gone, and I'll move on to the next thing. Not sure what that is yet. Find out. Right, while that soaks in some penetrant, next one is oh my god, I can really see that one there, so that needs to come out, but we've got the issue of all this plastic trim is in the way, so I won't take off all the plastic trim so I can actually get to the bolts, otherwise yeah, it ain't gonna happen, so I start unscrewing these.
So I started taking out these bolts that were holding that plastic trim piece in place, and it was so rusty. Thanks, English Roads.
There we go, that's what we've got to take out. So, hopefully that should be sound to get out. Oh, that crap is all over that. Oh, it's all like grease and stuff on it. Just road crap. Right. Oh, it is so filthy down there. Right. Let's crack on.
So taking this off was surprisingly easy. I was hoping to use my impact gun to make life much faster, but it just wouldn't fit. The frame of the car was in the way as well. So old-fashioned ratcheting it is to get this out.
Hey, success. Right, no. I think that's the headlight sensor. Should probably take that off now. Yeah, so let's go wires to that. Right, should take this off now. Because I don't want to pull on that.
So you would have noticed the plastic trim was just hanging in. That last clip, it turns out there was a bolt that I'd missed, which is why I couldn't get it off. So I got that bolt out and got it off just to give myself a little bit more room.
Right, so that's what I need to get rid of. Is, I need to hold it on this side, spin it on that side. Start off and put the nut back on so as I don't lose it. That nut is tiny and I can guarantee I will lose it. There we go. Right, that's that done, that's that off, that's that done. I'd imagine next is these ones. Question is, do I need all of them off? Or can I get away with just this to the... Oh, that's a drop link. Just goes to the anti-roll bar down there. Can I get away with that? Maybe. Right, next bit is to get these two disconnected from the knuckle. So one of them's a pinch bolt at the back there, which I'll show you in a minute. Which means once they're gone and I've freed up that pinch bolt and I've loosened that off, should be able to free it maybe? Right, we'll find out now. Oh wow. One off. I've got my spanner the wrong way. Voila. Put that on there. So we don't lose it. And that can come away. Hey, I don't have to deal with that bulge right. That's very messy. I think we're most of the way there now. And there's a bit more to get off it, I think, but there is a couple, oh god, there's a couple of these wires here that might snag when I drop the entire suspension. So put that back through there so we won't lose it and don't forget where it goes. So this wire seems to go down here to some sort of sensor down there, so I'm going to take that out, pull that out, and then get rid of the brake. Is the brake line? Yeah. Get rid of the brake line here from this bracket just so it can hang loose a little bit. and should be all good then. And I can try and tackle that bolt down there again. Right, let's go.
Here I'm just getting the sensor off the knuckle. I think it's the ABS sensor, so it doesn't get yanked on when I drop the whole knuckle down, getting this strut out. I then went to have another crack at the nut holding the tie rod end on, but it just wasn't having it.
Right, I managed to move that a little bit more, but it's seized up again, and I'm starting to run out of daylight. The sun's setting. It's not very dark in the morning, so I'm going to have to stop this and come back to it tomorrow. So I'm going to leave that to soak in some penetrant overnight, and hopefully tomorrow we'll get the rest of that off. And then should be able to take that bolt out and get the strut out. Exciting. Right, see you tomorrow. So we're back. It's been a couple of days because there's some really bad rain. Maybe I won't be going on today. And yeah, that was just light rain. It got really bad at some point, so now we're going to go back. Now that we have some sun, I'm going to attempt to get back to removing this strut out. So, let's crack on.
This bolt was left soaking in penetrant for a while, so I had some hope that it would come loose after some more wire brushing and a bit more penetrant.
That is so close to being out. I really don't want to have to cut this off.
Seems to be moving slowly but surely, but then the inevitable happened.
Oh shit. Oh no, oh no. It's just snapped a bit. Oh. No! Well, that's not good. We got about 99% of the way there, and it's just snapped my T40. It's just gonna kill me. It's gonna be the death of me. So now we've got my T40 stuck in there. So now I need to try and get it out and use another T40. This has got to kill me, this car.
Well, that was an annoying setback, but I was determined to give it another go. So I started attempting to get the broken bit out at the end of the tie rod end, using a combination of a magnet and a pick to try and just like pick it out.
There we go. Ow! Just stabbed myself. There's the broken bit out. So what's the point with this? Come on, focus. Focus. There we go. This is like quite far off. But the issue we're having is that is there's some light on there. There's my light. Oh, turn my light off. That is so rusty. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it off. I think it's that seized on. I just cannot get it off. So I don't know whether sacrificing more bits is going to work or not. I don't know what to do at this point. Because I can't get the strut up without getting that bolt off to lower that down. I need to get some thinking done. I swear this car is here just to torture me at this point. I can't get this bolt off. I'm going to keep playing around with it off camera for a bit, but I may have to just cut it off with an angle grinder and buy a new track rod end, because it is properly seized on there, and I'm down to one T45 left. T40? Yeah, T40. One T40 left. And if I snap that, I've got no T40s, which means I have to buy some more. I'm gonna have a little play around with things and see if I can figure out any way to get this off. Hopefully I can. I'll keep posted. Really wondering, Dean, how does this get so rusty to the point where it's impossible to get off? There's a couple of things for that. So one, this is a very old car. This is a 20-year-old car nearly. It's done like 180,000 miles, 170,000 miles, something like that. It's not a lot of mileage anyway, and that track rod end is right in the main path to get battered by the roads, and in England there's a lot of salt on our roads, so a lot of that salt kind of hits that and then it just soaks it and it just rusts apart, and when this part probably hasn't been taken off in 20 years, it's extremely glued on there now. For you to snap apart, I feel I'm just going to cut it out and just buy a new track rod end. So yeah, fun. Well, there it goes. My last T40 gone. Stuck in there. Oh, no, not quite in there. In there. Don't know if you can see that. But it's stuck in the same place. So now I need to go and get more T40s because I'll need some for the other side. Oh, this is really testing me. Right, seeing as I am out of T40 bits, I am now going to run the shop. It's time to run the shop, pick up some more. So, into the daily we go. And if you can guess what the daily is, just by this site, stick a guess down in the comments and let me know if you want me to tell you all about my daily, because that's got its own kind of stories. But without further ado, let's go to the shop. Oh Jesus. Right, new bits acquired, and back to my rusty piece of crap. Right, with that bolt being extremely seized on and not moving, it won't even like loosen anymore. It's that seized on. So with me not wanting to snap any more bolts, it's angle grinder time. I might have to change that disc. Yeah, so I have to cut it off. Yay! Seems to have this really weird. Can you tell me what that is? That's kind of like oozing out of it. I'd love to know. Properly bubbling. Wow. Maybe that's the penetration fluid. Right, the end of the bolt is off. We'll see if it will come out. Hopefully it will. It is finally, it's hot, and it's off. It's off. Oh. Well, that was much more difficult than it should have been. The joys of getting a very old car, but it is now still a bit hot. But it is now off. Oh god, that's a bit hot. Yeah, don't touch that. Ow! That's a bit hot. And track rod end is now off. So I'm going to have to order a new track rod end and get that old one off. For now, we can actually carry on with getting the strut out. So our next step is just to undo some wires, and hopefully we should be able to get the strut out. Thank God for that.
Finally, after lots and lots of angle grinding, should be used to at this point with how much angle grinding I've had to do already on this car. But we can carry on removing the strut from the car now. I'm just disconnecting the ABS sensor and the brake line from the bracket that it's on, so they don't get like pulled on when I drop the knuckle.
Right, now that I've removed this ABS sensor out the way so it doesn't get like pulled as I drop this down, and the track rod end is now finally out, which will be replaced. We can now undo, I think this is the control arm, so we can undo this and kind of unbolt most of the suspension from the subframe, and then there's it's pinched here at the back there, so we need to get something in the gap there to kind of separate it a little bit so we can get the struts completely out, because it's just held in like this being pinched like that. And once we've got that out, we can finally replace the spring. Yes, here we go.
So now I'm taking the bolt out, holding the suspension onto the subframe, which allows me to start sliding the struts from the knuckle.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system,
And now I needed to create a bit more of a gap to get the knuckle to drop from the strut. I tried this little bit I had lying around at first, but it was just too small to fit the gap.
nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief.
So I went and got my much larger pry bar and a good old trusty hammer to assist me.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
After hammering the pry bar in, I was able to finally wiggle out enough room to get the knuckle to drop away from the strut.
Go, 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 go.
It's free. Right, to the top mounts.
I really didn't like the idea of leaving the knuckle just like flopping around, so I went and got my jack just to prop it up whilst I got the rest of the strut out.
Change all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain.
Right, now I can just start unbolting the 3 nuts that are holding the strut to the frame of the car, leaving one on the edge that I'll undo very carefully so the strut doesn't just fly off into the floor.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
It's out! Oh my lord. That took way longer than I expected. Whew, sun's going down. Yes! Right, so we moved to the back garden because there's a lot less background noise here. I haven't got the main road in the way. Well, we have gotten off the front strut now, so now I need to take this spring off so I can replace it with the lowering spring that we've got. I'm going to put it back in, hopefully before the sun sets, and then we'll do the other side next time. But I don't think I ever really explained how the spring compressor works, so we'll zoom in and we'll explain how this works and how we compress the spring to get the spring off the strut. Then you can still see me there. Hello. Doggy wants to say hi today. This is my spring compression kit thingy majiggy. So what we have to do is match the size of one of these to the size of the springs. So I think this size is the right size. Yeah, looks about the right size. Yeah, it looks like it fits. So underneath there, you can see it kind of sits inside of the rim there, inside of the lip that's there. So we need to attach that to this like tower, and then we can compress it. You're loose? Yeah, you're loose. Because this is really boring, isn't it? That just slots into the groove there. Let me screw it in. Voila! One spring compressor with the right size on. And also, an interesting thing of note that I've noticed with the top mount of this front strut is this spins. I had a major issue trying to get one of the rear struts I was in where this is static and doesn't move in the rear, so trying to line up the 3 bolts was an absolute nightmare. By the way, if anybody knows how to make that way easier, let me know in the comments. But with this being able to spin, this should be way easier. And it seems to have a cover on the top, and I think that cover is because on some models, like the M5, because these, I think the M5 and this shares the same suspension, but they have adaptive suspension, so there's a plug that goes in the top there for like the M5, and I don't know whether models of the 550 actually have that option, but that's what this is covering. It seems to be really well on there. I have to get a screwdriver or something to get that off, but that's where like an electric connector will go in there to control the stiffness of the suspension, of the strut. Ow! Also, I've destroyed my flathead. I'm trying to help loads of friends go with their ECU. It's a long story. There we go, that's come off. Now we have access to the bolts. So similar to the back end, where we're going to put our specialist 18mm, that is going to be a 21mm on there, and then use a Torx bolt to hold that in. So lucky I got some extra new Torx bolts, because that looks like it might be the same size. Really fun. Whee! 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 Oh, there's ball bearings in there. Ah, there's bearings in there. I never knew that. Ah, cool. I wonder if they should be replaced. Right, now time to get compressing. Right, I think they should be compressed enough. Oh look, that little BMW logo in there. Huh, cool. Oh god, I'm missing me nuts.
After I found my nuts, I got on with taking the spring off the strut, similar to how I've done the rears in the previous video.
Should be this one, I think. Oh! That was dangerous.
Looking at the spring now, it's good that we're replacing this because it's in dire condition, but the dampness seems all good, so we'll reuse that.
And on that note, there's the new spring. And compare that to the old one. You can see it's a slightly bit lower. It's a slight bit lower. But that way actually. But this one is new. So time to get that on there without hopefully this time blowing my fingers off. Here we go.
Now it's time to get the new lowering springs on.
There's a little spring of potential energy, isn't there?
So I was hoping to get this done today, but when I got to the point of tightening the top nut in the top mount, there was a minor inconvenience, shall we say.
So I went to the shop to take back the T40 that snapped, and the guy in the shop would give me a T45. So I'll have to go back there. So, annoyingly, the shops didn't have a T40 belt, T40 bit, so no, I'm going to have to order some online, and I'll have to do it tomorrow. I can't do it tomorrow, so it'll be a couple more days before I actually continue with putting that spring on the strut. So currently driving home, and then if I can't find a way to get it, if I can't find a T40 bolt somewhere that I've got spare, then I'll have to surrender for now, because I'm running out of daylight. I've got about 40 minutes left before the sun sets, and I don't fancy really trying to put the suspension back on in the dark. I ideally didn't want to leave the front strut off because I've got my jack underneath, and I don't really want to leave my jack out overnight, but at this rate it looks like I'm going to have to, which is very annoying, but I will catch up with you in a bit. I don't know, maybe I will actually find a T40 somewhere in my house, and I can get that spring back on. Anywho, catch you there. So I didn't have a spare T40 anyway. So I think I'm going to have to just order another T40 online, wait for that to get delivered, and then I can put the spring back on. But for now I'm going to have to take that to pieces and bring it inside. So here we go. Modern problems require modern solutions. If it's stupid and it works, is it really stupid?
Much later.
Finally, I can get back to putting the strut back together. Now it's just a case of putting a new spring in with the top mount and tightening everything up so it's ready to go back into the car. I also bought some new top mounts because the old ones are looking way past their expiry date. With that back together, we can finally get the strut back on the car. This feels like it's taken forever, but this isn't my first time doing something like this. I don't know, probably could have gone worse.
It's very heavy.
So this will basically be me doing the opposite of what I did to get the strut out in the first place, and all in all it went quite smoothly, which I was very grateful for after the dramas I've had everywhere else. Here I'm just wiggling the strut around from the bottom and trying to get it lined up to the holes of the frame of the car and at least get one nut in to hold it in place, and then I can let go of the bottom and then ratchet the rest of them down. Now I'm just jacking up the knuckle so I can tighten up the nut to the top mount without having to hold the strut with one hand, because that thing is heavy. And with all the nuts tightened up at the top, I can remove the jack, and that's one strut finally in.
Ta-da! And this is where we're up to now. So now we just need to reconnect all of the things we disconnected besides this, because this is getting replaced. But other than that, everything else, ABS sensors, headlight level sensor, I'm gonna get them all plugged back in now, and then we can take out the other side. Soon I'll be able to start this thing. I haven't tightened that completely because somebody in the last video mentioned that I should only hand tighten these. See, you can still spin that, and once I get the car on the ground or put some sort of pressure on the suspension system, I can tighten this up, otherwise it'll just destroy this bush that's in there, and then I'll have to replace that, which I don't want to do. So we'll crack on with attaching everything else. Now I've just noticed as well, this bush is completely perished, so I'm gonna have to probably get a replacement for that. Yeah, that's completely destroyed. Right, okay. Right, we'll put it on for now, and then I'll have to order that part and replace this bush as well, which I think is the drop link, is it? I think it's a drop link, so I'll have to do that as well. Wonderful, more parts. That is now not lining up to that, so I need to push this up. That is just not lining up. You see the witness marks there? It's just not going to line up, so it's not going to go in. Oh, that worked surprisingly well. Let's get that lined up again. Wonderful.
Connecting everything back up again was the reverse of me taking it apart, and everything was quite easy to get back in place and tighten all up. With that all connected on the driver's side, it was on the passenger side to do the same. First was the tyre end, which thankfully came up with no issues at all. Then disconnecting the bracket that was holding the drop link to the knuckle. Suspension arm off now, and so far so good. Everything was coming out nice and easy. And with that, I can start disconnecting the strut from the knuckle and undoing the top mount bolts to get the strut out. This was much less eventful than the other side was, thank God.
Safety bucket. That's heavy.
Now I'm just putting the new lowering springs on with the new top mount because the old one was completely perished.
Oh, the old and with the new. Slightly lower.
Just tightening in the top mount and the new spring is in with no fuss. I'm getting much better at this.
I'm an idiot. When I thought I was getting good at this, I forgot to put the cap on. So now, I need to take it back off. Now it's done. Time to go put this in the car. It's done. It's on. You can't really see, it's a bit dark in there. Can't see any better there. But it's in, it's on, and now I've connected everything back up besides the tie rods, because I'm going to replace both the tie rods on these because the other one had to angle grind off, and I may as well replace both because this one's really, really rusty. So you can probably see. Here's it. Oh god, working camera's upside down, it's hard. You can see all down there, it's just unbelievably rusty. So I might as well do that, which is going to have to do tracking out, but I also have to get it. All the trackers have been messing around with the suspension anyway. I've left this control arm just finger tight as well with the rest of them, because someone mentioned in the comments about just leave them finger tight and then tighten them up when I've got some weight on the suspension itself, which I will sort later once I've done the tie rod arms and things like that. But yeah, all four corners done. People will have to let me know if there's anything that I've monumentally messed up before I go put this on the floor, because I don't fancy destroying my wheels or suspension anymore and replacing any more parts than I already had to. Oh my god, there's spider webs everywhere. Oh my god, there's cobwebs. I don't know if you can see there's cobweb from there, from the walls. Anyway, yeah, let me know. You know, that last one went way faster than the others. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more confidence with these now. Since that, I managed to do that one way faster than I'd done the first one. Well, it did help that I didn't have to angle grind anything off that one because all the bolts just came off, which was nice. But I'm still going to have to do a little bit more work before this is all done. Right, with the struts back on, I think what we'll do now, before we finish, is we will, there we are. We will attach the battery and see what other lights are popping up and see if there's anything I have to worry about for the future. There we go. That's me. Right, this hasn't been turned on in a while, so reconnect the battery. Yep, that's working. Let's close that. Right, so the battery is now in, so we should be able to, oh god, be able to stick this in. Oh, I heard noises. Let's just turn that down. Oh god, I can't remember how to turn it down. Oh, it's this one. So, still got our restraint system fault, which I already knew about. I don't know what's causing that, but that's a future issue. Well, I think that's it for now. I don't think there's any other faults on here. Maybe there'll be one we started. But that's going to be it for this one. I'm very, very, very excited. I've finally fixed all of the snap coil and replaced all of them, which is probably a good thing anyway, because I think most of them were rusty or were on the verge of they're going to break very soon. So it's a good thing that we replaced them all. A bit of a pain in the arse that we've now got to replace the tie rods, which is annoying, but shit happens. So I'm going to order them, have to do them. Still need to replace the control arm on that side because the bush was worn on that, and the drop link on this side because the bush is gone on that as well. So I'm just going to end up getting crap in it from the roads, and that'll rust and die. Well, rust, and it'll destroy the ball joint that's inside of it. So I'm going to replace them probably in the next one when the parts get delivered. But yeah, let me know anything that I screwed up with or anything else you want to see on this car in the comments below. But if you enjoyed this, leave us a like, it'd be appreciated, and subscribe for more. I'm joking. I've just plugged the battery in. Of course I'm going to start it for you so you can hear it. I haven't heard it for a while. Well, that's annoying. It's not starting. I think the battery's flat. Oh, that's very annoying. I don't have a battery charger. The battery's dead. So, a friend of mine gave an absolute clutch and brought a battery charger. Let's go get the battery charged. So, red on. Red. Black on. Black. Plug it in. Oh yeah, that was a bit low. So we'll let that charge up, and hopefully we can start up the car in a minute. Right, here we go again. Battery's been charged for a while. The ignition is on. We have lights on. So let's see. Fingers crossed. Very dark in here. Let's see if this will start. Fingers crossed. Woo. We have takeoff. We have liftoff. It started. Ooh. Ooh, it doesn't sound very happy. Oh, I've got all kinds of lights coming up on the dash. Oh, what have we got? Restraint system faulty. Yeah, that's fine. What else have we got? Engine fault. Yeah, I've still got an engine fault. I'm waiting for my OBD adapter to come so I can plug that and see what that engine fault is, because I don't actually know. But other than that, it just settled really quickly. Mustn't have been much of a cold start. It smells very fuely. Oh wow, that's not the start in a while. That smells unbelievably fuely. Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I'm getting like carbon dioxide poisoning. Right, we'll leave that to warm up a little bit, and then we'll give it a few flips. Ooh, that's spicy. Oh, I've missed the sound of that. Well, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment to let me know what I've messed up, and I will unsubscribe to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain.